Good morning, everyone. The first World Maritime Education and Training Multidisciplinary Congress that Constanța Maritime University is organizing in partnership with the Nautical Institute serves as a multidisciplinary platform to be able for us, being experts, academia, or professionals in the maritime industry, to exchange insights, to share good practices, and to ignite innovation in maritime education and training. Now we are here being such representatives along with the students. And we start the workshops on maritime education and training for sustainable development with, let's say, presentations and then insights from part of experts, professionals in the maritime industry, but also from a part of you, the students. Now, please welcome Captain John Lloyd, that are here today as moderators. Captain Joao Frat, that is from the Vice President of the Portuguese Maritime College. Welcome Captain Cristian Ancuța, that is the Director of Safety Navigation at Romanian Naval Authority. The General Manager of Columbia and Stodig Shipping Company, Mr. Cristian Dumitrescu. The Vice Rector at Constanța Maritime University for students, so you have your Vice Rector here, students, and your leader. And the last but not the least, that is Marina Cesnocova, that is the Deputy Head of Training Center, language at the Naval Vapsparov Naval Academy in Bulgaria. So after the presentations and the insights that the moderators and you will have, we will start the question and answers, and just to be able to find answers to what is to be considered for challenges nowadays in the maritime industry. Thank you very much. And now you have...
Thank you, Dr. Carmen, and welcome back. Thank you for coming back for the second day. It's always a relief that people come back, so thank you. And thank you to the panelists for joining us today. When we look at the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, one of the key themes there is quality education and training. And I think that's a really important subject for us to be covering today. Yesterday, we looked at the sort of broad picture of the role of the International Maritime Organization. And then later in the day, we looked at the more specific roles of those in leadership positions, and we heard from the students some perspectives as well, which are really important. So today's about bringing those two parts of the jigsaw together in a really important session that we're going to listen to today. But one of the remarks I passed yesterday was is our future in safe hands? Well, I think from the observations and from the input we heard yesterday from the students showing so much understanding, such good perspective, such enlightenment and a willingness to contribute to making the world a better place, I think we can be assured that we are in safe hands. But let us move on today. Thank you so much to all of our team, and it's a great pleasure to welcome the Director of Safety of I had to translate this, so it might not be completely correct here. The Director Safety of Navigation, and I'm going to go with navigation professionals, Cristian Ancuța. Captain, thank you very much. The floor is yours.
Good morning to you all. It's a great pleasure to be here among my colleagues, my friends. Regarding the maritime regulatory framework, I first of all want to present my institution and how my institution support the sustainable development. Who we are? Romanian Naval Authority is the Romanian specialized authority in the field of safety of navigation, ship security, and water pollution. We have a headquarters in Constanța port, and 5 big harbor masters, one in Constanța responsible for the maritime area, the Black Sea shore, and the other 4 spread along the Danube, Tulcea, Galați, Giurgiu, and Drobeta Turnu Severin, guiding on our principle safety through quality. Of course, we strive to guarantee the safety of navigation and security of all the activities in the Romanian maritime and inland waters. We also fulfill the Romanian's obligation arising from the conventions. And also we promote, I said, the sustainable protection of marine environment. Our objective, of course, are related to our responsibilities, are related to safety of navigation, ship inspections, participation in the relevant international organization. We have a involvement in the digitalization of our services. Also, we transpose the European and international acquis in the legislative framework. Of course, related to seafarers and ships, certification, and so on. Our responsibilities are related to traffic management, performing the inspection, port stay control and flag stay control. Also, we certify the vessels, seafarers. Also, we coordinate the search and rescue missions, and also we coordinate the response in oil spills. This is a site of our department in order to fulfill our responsibilities: safety of navigation, port stay, flag stay control, vessel traffic management through harbor masters, search and rescue coordination and pollution preventions. They are in MRCC, I will explain later, center, international relations, ship certification, seafarers certification, and also we have a department for dangerous goods, terminal and gas free. We invest heavily in some systems which help us for our activities. As you see, SafeCNet, LRIT, Maritime Single Windows for reporting, and also 2 important systems, CleanCNet, which allow satellite-based oil spill monitoring, and also I want to mention GSIS, IMO portal for sharing the data. The Maritime Coordination Center, which is based in Constanța Port, is the national authority for search and rescue missions and oil spill response. It cooperates with other entities, Coast Guard, ARSVOM, Air Forces, and other private entities. The center is well connected to the SafeCNet and CleanCNet. They are European systems for real-time notification and coordinate the place of refuge for vessels in case of incident. Regarding digitalization, we invested in a platform, PISE, which is 24/7 available, assure applications, secure payments, and download the official documents. Is now in implementing. We try to digitalize all the services. Of course, our institution is present in European other European institutions like European Maritime Safety Agency. We are in the board of agency. We also support the IMO activity. We participate all the time in the committee, subcommittee, and the Great Assembly. We have a strong cooperation, especially the Maritime Rescue Coordinating Center, as I mentioned before, with Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, other public partners. Now, there are two main regulatory framework related to the main institution, IMO and the European Union. As probably was mentioned, the United Nations set some sustainable goals. Some of them are directly related to our activities. I can tell you that in this year, in April 2025, at Maritime Environment Protection Committee held in April 2025, was approved the Net Zero Framework. Few weeks ago was postponed, but it was already approved. This framework sets a mandatory global marine fuel standard, also a pricing mechanism for the greenhouse gases emissions, set some targets for the future years, and also a principle well-to-wake approach for accounting the emissions. This framework is applying to ships over 5,000 gross tonnage. Some example how they are related to our work. For example, life below water as goals. MARPOL Convention, Ballast Water Management Convention are related to life below water, climate action, decarbonization strategies and energy efficiency measures, green port infrastructure, or social aspect, IMO support actively the women in maritime, as probably know. At European level, we have two main regulations. FuelEU Maritime Regulation, also applied for 5,000 gross tonnage ships, which are calling the European ports. The regulation sets some standards and also impose some measures regarding the onshore power supply called ironing for container and passenger ships from 2030, and also, of course, encourage the renewable and low carbon fuels. The other regulation is EU Emission Trading System, ETS. Is an extension for maritime from the other industry branches. Also, from 2025, yesterday was approved governance decision where the Romanian Naval Authority is the competent authority in Romania for approve the emissions plans in Romania. We took some technological and operational measures, like, as I told you before, the digitalization, follow the AI-driven logistics to reduce emission, energy efficiency design index and ship energy efficiency management plan, which are set in Annex 6 of MARPOL, and also adoption of LNG, biofuels, green ammonia, and methanol as fuel for ships. When we discuss the role of governance in maritime safety, of course, safety, security, and sustainability are linked. I want to mention the role of IMO. As you know, IMO is a specialized agency of the United Nations in the maritime field. In the maritime safety, we have two main conventions, SOLAS Convention, which established standards for ship construction, equipment and operation. Also STCW for seafarers, probably know better. Regarding the environmental protection, we have MARPOL, ballast water management, Hong Kong Convention related to ship recycling. IMO have a strong technical cooperation with the developing country, and also establish a mechanism for inspections through port state, flag state, and controls and coastal state responsibility. At the regional and national level, the European, as I told you before, we have two main regulations, EU MRV regulation, related to the verification, monitoring and reporting of the CO2 emissions, and also the Fuel EU Maritime Regulation, and as I told you, the extended of the EU ETS regulation. At national level, of course, we implement the IMO conversions, we monitoring compliance through inspection, and where is the case, every country can establish the emission control areas in their competency. We are helped with some conventions for applying UNCLOS, for example, ISPS code in order to achieve the security against threats, and also national laws. Enforcement is carried out through inspection, port state control, flag state control for two kind of flag of the ships, and coastal state jurisdiction are in the matters related to exclusive economic zone. Some challenges, of course, we have sometimes overlap of jurisdiction, limited capacity for some countries, and emergency threats like cyber attacks in the last period, climate change. Innovative can mention digital compliance, the new tools, public-private partnership, and capacity building, where IMO has a great support. In Romanian Naval Authority, I want to mention two main projects related to sustainability. One was Grendel, which is already finished, when the other one is Green Fit. The first is related to modernize the Danube inland waterway fleet in order to reduce the emission. And the other one is in implementing now. Green Fit for Danube is a project between Romanian Naval Authority and the Executive Maritime Agency from Bulgaria, financed through Interreg 6A. The goal of this project is to enhance the pollution monitoring. Our role is to develop a pilot system for pollution detecting and response, and also to develop a joint procedure for cross-border environmental protection. It's in implementing phase. Our mandate, of course, we are monitoring and controlling the pollution. We are implementing the main conventions of IMO, also related to environment. Our inspection, port state control and flag state control also touch the environment standards, and the search and rescue coordination and accident investigation with environment implication. Of course, we support the IMO Net Zero framework, which include the mandatory fuel standard, the greenhouse gases pricing mechanism and encourage the use of zero or near zero emission fuels. A few thoughts about smart port and digitalization. We support the transforming of the Constanța port in the smart port model through automation, AI, Internet of Things, green technology, and also we support the coastal protection and marine habitat restoration. I mentioned here the new eco-friendly breakwaters, beaches, artificial reefs, seagrass rehabilitation, and also protection of the Black Sea coast from erosion projects. I thank you very much.
Captain Christian, thank you so much for that insight, and it kind of really highlights the complexity of the maritime environment where we're working to an international framework, a regional framework, and national responsibilities with fleets from all over the world. So we will come back to some questions during the panel session, but for the moment, thank you very much. Let us move to training and education, and I'm delighted that we can welcome Marina Chesnokova, Deputy Head of the Training Centre Langmar at the Naval Academy. I was going to go there, but we'll go with Naval Academy. Thank you so much. And Marina's going to offer some insights to the current state of maritime training programs thereof. Thank you.
So if we speak about the advancing maritime education for sustainable future, for sure we have some challenges and opportunities. And the main key points of this situation that we have, we will speak about the current state of maritime education and training programs. When we speak generally about the maritime education and training programs, we have regulated, they are highly regulated and standardized by the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. The primary focus has been on three core pillars, we can say about this. We consider that this is the safety and security, the first one. The second, seamanship and navigation. And the third is marine engineering and technology. There are strengths of the current system we can say about this. We can say that this is the global standardization. As the CW programs ensures a baseline for competency for seafarers worldwide, which is crucial for global nature of shipping. Also, we emphasize on safety. This is the culture of safety that is deeply ingrained, leading to a significant reduction in maritime accidents over the last decades. And another one is the technical proficiency. The graduates are highly skilled in technical and operational aspects of running a ship. We have the strengths, but we also have the challenges of this situation. So the challenges, this is the rapid technological change. So we have the pace of innovation, so autonomous ships, AI, big data, and this gives us the possibility to revise the formal curricula of our programs, MED programs. The other challenge is also the human element, one of them. There is a growing recognition of the need for better training in soft skills like leadership, decision-making, crisis management, and one of the most is multicultural communication. Also, one more thing is about the digital gap. While simulators are widely used, there is a need to integrate more training on cybersecurity, data analytics, and managing complex digital bridge systems. If we move to another one, another key point of our theme is the integration of sustainability principles into maritime curricula. So there are key areas of integration. The first, we can say that this is the energy efficiency. We can speak about the courses like ship and energy efficiency management plan, or an energy efficient operation of the vessels, and also voyage optimization. Also, that is very crucial and that is very important. And also, one of these is very important, the practical training. So not only using the simulators to practice, but also to have onboard training on real ships. Also, there is another one that this deals with green technologies, the alternative fuels and the green technologies. Also, one more is about the circular economy and waste management. Also, if we speak about the methods of integration in our curriculums, this is maybe kind of like standalone modules. So this is the most dedicated, for example, courses, something like maritime environmental science or sustainable shipping, something like that. Also, it's very important about the cross-curricular integration. So not only just having the modules just on the one subject, but also interact between different subjects: maritime English and navigation, marine engineering, and some data analytics, so different ones. And also one more is also very important, that is project-based learning. That is also very important for the students and cadets to have their possibility to design a project, to involve them in some research works dealing with these items. And the other key point is the preparing future maritime professionals for environmental stewardship. This is another one. What can we say about this? This is to move beyond technical compliance and foster a generation of maritime leaders who see themselves as an active stewards of the ocean, we can say something like that. So that's also very important. And this is the main is to shift their mindset from compliance to stewardship. So that's also very important. And this compliance and stewardship, for example, there could be some questions. For example, what is the minimum I must do to avoid any fine on board the vessel? Or what is the best I can do to protect the environment, for something like that. And their decisions could be reactive, like responding to regulations, and also proactive, seeking for some innovative solutions and to make them decision makers. Also very important for them, essential skills and attributes for the future maritime professionals. In this case, we can speak about the systems of thinking, the ability to understand the interconnectedness of ship operations, logistics, economics, and maritime ecosystem. Also, the technological adaptability. This is like our willingness and ability to continuously learn and adopt the new technologies and digital tools for monitoring and efficiency. Then also what one is very important, that is the ethical leadership. This is the courage to make decisions even if it's challenging for them. That is very important to teach them how to do this. Also, when we speak about the data literacy, this is the skill to interpret data from sensors and systems to make informed operational decisions that can reduce some kind of impact, like, for example, environmental impact or just something like that. And one of the most that I also consider that is very important and essential, this is advocacy and communication. This is the ability to effectively communicate with the crewmates, the company management, and the stakeholders. That is also very important. What can we do for this? So first of all, we consider that we can collaborate with the leading shipping companies, which can provide cadetships. They can be like guest lecturers, and we can learn some information and some decisions on real-world case studies. That is very important for us. Also, one more is also very important. This is the role models and mentoring, especially when the real captains and chief engineers, they come to academies and they provide their knowledge, the real knowledge they have, and they can share their experience. That is also very important. Also, it's very important to gain the information, for example, from the Nautical Institute. When we have case studies, we improve our programs with the case studies that we can find on the website from the Nautical Institute, and we analyze and we try to gain not only just information, but also the main things that we can get the real practices from this. And also one more thing, this is to encourage our students and cadets to researches and innovations. So that's also very important for us. So we would like to attract their attention to new projects. That's also very important for us. And as a conclusion, I can say that the journey of maritime education and training is at a pivotal point. It is evolving from a system focused predominantly on safety and technical operation to one that must integrate sustainability as a core principle. The future of the industry depends on its ability to produce not just competent navigators and engineers, but responsible ocean stewards who can navigate the complex challenges of the 21st century and lead the shipping industry toward a truly sustainable and decarbonized future. Thank you very much.
Marina, thank you so much for those insights, and I'm sure there'll be some interesting questions from the audience about the future of training and education. But of course, the regulatory framework and the training environment is all there to support operations. And so I'm delighted that we can have the operational side of the industry represented here through Stodic Ship Management, a company with over 50 years of experience. 50 years of service combining local presence with global reach. Your website, I got it. So I'm very pleased to welcome Christian Dumitrescu, General Manager from Stodic Ship Management, and we look forward to hearing your perspectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd. It's an honor to be these days together with you. So I've asked my colleague to put this presentation and the movie. We'll show you a bit about what Stodic is doing, what kind of vessels, how we embrace technology and innovation. Yesterday, Tore Einar was talking a bit about WAPS, this wind assistant power propulsion system, and we will touch upon a bit later today. Is it okay? The sound, it's good? Yeah. So I will say a few words about myself. First of all, it's very good to see as many as youngsters joining today. I assume they are students of the university. It's very good because what we are talking here today, it's mainly about you and the way we and together with you are shaping the future of shipping. Few words about myself. My name is Cristian Dumitrescu. I am the General Manager of Columbia Studic Romania, Columbia și Management and Studic și Management Representatives in Romania. We have more than 20 years on the Romanian market and Bulgarian market for the last 5-7 years. I've spent about 10 years working on board ships, sailing. So I know a bit about what the industry is doing, and then I've dedicated my experience and knowledge to develop and establish and develop the Columbia and Studic operations in Romania. I am also a proud graduate of Maritime University. There have been some good years in 92, 93, 94. I mean, Costel, it's here present. Christian, my colleague, as well present. So like good wines, good years. I am holding a master degree in the Maritime Education and Logistics and a degree in law, Romanian law as well. As I said, it's a great honor to be here today, surrounded by a lot of people with experience and dedicated to the shipping sector, both international and national. People whom are really knowing that we are not only moving cargoes from A to B, but we are moving the world and shaping the world. So it's important to realize that you are a small but important piece of what is going on. I will also take this opportunity to congratulate Maritime University and the people full of energy who've been behind of arranging this Congress. It's a good achievement. The first Congress of Maritime Education, it's really good. Yeah. And thank you very much for making Studic a part of it. Thank you. I was tempted to make quite a long presentation because usually you would like to say more and not to forget things. But then I've realized that it's almost 10:18, so we should have ended by now the session. So I have to speed up a bit. And then I've tried to make it shorter. So hopefully you'll find it interesting and you will not be tempted to jump overboard halfway. So can we switch to, yeah, so we have it. So we will be talking about sustainable practices in maritime sector and the cooperation between maritime sector and education and training institution when it comes to green technologies. It's a group of companies. Seatrans is the umbrella, and then we have Seatrans Chemical Tanker, Sea Cargo, and Studic. This is the new vessels coming. There will be two new vessels like these ones built. They are already done, but the rotor sails will be fitted later on this year. Sustainability. Any of the students would like to say what they understand about sustainability? Just just try. Yeah. I know you all have the phones. You can try it as well, because we will be speaking about sustainability. So myself, I have asked AI to tell me what is sustainability, the broader understanding, and was saying that it's the practice of meeting the today needs without jeopardizing the needs or the needs of those from tomorrow. Yeah, that's the broader understanding. So you cover your own needs, but without endangering the way the others will fulfill their needs later on. And this is done in a balanced way, in a way that is not jeopardizing the environment, the resources, the social. So that's the way the sustainability is understood. And I've just put this slide here. And if until maybe 5-6 6 years ago, we've been talking about efficiency through speed, cost. Now, I think 3-4 years back, we have started to include environment into this efficiency. And lately, it's more and more actual to include social impact. So the prudent and responsible companies are judging their efficiency through sustainability these days. It's not only cost and efficiency when it comes to financial results. Of course, should be meaningful financially, but as I said, not jeopardize the future. And I've just tried to put there how sustainability integrates into daily life of a shipping company. And that's also available for all the companies, not only in the maritime sector. So it's integrated in the fleet management, the way we do voyage optimization, and yesterday been talking about solutions. Training of the human resources, the culture that we embrace when it comes to quality, health, safety, digital monitoring. Yesterday been talking about gathering data, IoT, interpreting the data, cybersecurity, so everything is there. The way we choose suppliers and the way we decide to use the supply chain, the way we influence the environment and the social from the design of the vessel, commissioning, down to decommissioning. So everything is important. We will touch upon this subject later on. And now, as we are all saying that in maritime sector that the skilled seafarers are built in the rough seas, I would like to challenge you and all of you to answer to a question. That's a problem because I'm usually talking loud, so I don't need I will try to switch. So I would like to challenge you on a question. How do you see, what the challenge do you think or you face in your daily life, daily career, or you foreseen when it comes to sustainability? What do you think will be the challenges that you will be facing? You have the picture there, fleet management, optimization. What do you think will be impacting? Yeah. What about voyage optimization, solutions? The decision is done by the captain or by the ocean routing. Whom is having the truth? When it comes to digital monitoring, standardization and compatibility, that are challenges. Anyone else will try to? Yeah, I feel there is an energy in the hall, so you have to, you have to speak up. Don't be shy. Maybe after, yes. Yeah. But then I will try to put it there. What I found, it's challenging. Small companies to implement such policies and routines for small companies might be a burden because they will not be able financially to cover the cost. To have a routing, voyage routing, to involve in or invest in data gathering and cyber security and so on. So that's the cost, it's a problem. We will be talking about alternative fuels and alternative means of propulsion. Availability of the fuels in different regions of the world. That can be a challenge. Regulatory complexity, Christian was exposing the challenges they have in the Naval Authority in applying the international regulation. Yeah, and usually the political factor is important because they are the ones giving the trend. Technological integration, different system, different producers, the missing of standardization on different equipments. Yesterday we've been talking about 3D printing, about gathering the data and systems to analyze different processes and interpret results. The way we are reporting the NOxes, the gases, are different things. Christian was touching upon reporting from well to wake. A lot of companies are reporting from tank to wake. So it's different. It's like buying an electrical car. Yes, we did it good, we are green. But we are not counting how much footprint the producer of batteries were putting into it. So we are green, but are we all green from well to wake? No. So it's important. You will see later on about different type of fuels. Supply chain and logistics. 3D printing, it's a good opportunity. We can do limited things on board. We don't need to move pieces from around the world to fix some small repairs on board. It's one thing. The packaging of those things we move, they are also leaving a footprint. Market and commercial pressure is always present. Those working at the shipping companies, they know that at the end, it's the bottom line. So you should be meaningful when it comes to the financial figures. Where is the balance? Safety, quality, sustainability against commercial pressure. And I left it at the end, the skills and workforce adaptation of crew, not only those on board, but those working ashore. That's a very important point, and you are a key of it. And we are a key of it because we are working on maritime sector in trying to give you the best knowledge in order to make you ready for what is going on. So these are the challenges. Do you see other challenges that you would like to share? You should be strong seafarers. You should be not shy. Yeah. Speaking about fuels. So you know there are different regions, or you at least you will be learning on MARPOL convention about this, different annexes. Transition to low sulfur, LNG, biofuels, methanol, ammonia. That's a possibility. That's one of the solutions. Alternative propulsion, for example, hybrid vessels. The majority of the small and especially offshore vessels are hybrid these days, which is good because, for example, CSOVs, commissioning offshore support vessels, they are multi-role vessels. They are going to the windmills. They can connect. They extract the energy straight from the windmill. They charge the batteries. They move electric between port and the fields. So their impact on environment is minimal. But we need to prepare you for this kind of vessels. They are fully automated. You have to have good knowledge on automation, especially electricians and engineers. Yesterday, Tor Einar was speaking again about sales. 25% economy on fuel, on SC connector, 13,000 tonner Roro vessel. Really real figures. Optimized vessels. I've mentioned that it's important when a good company is designing, commissioning and commissioning the vessels to invest into good designs, optimal designs. We are working for a company called GC Rieber, a well-known Norwegian company, and they are developing 2 new vessels. They are work vessels offshore, and they have decided to go for SWAT kind of design. This will bring, maybe it's better to show it as long as we are talking about it, and then we come back to the fuels. That's the vessel. Strange design, like 2 hulls. There are hulls beneath the water. They are just floating, like hovering, like. They are hybrid vessels. So very close to that net zero for 2050. But in order to serve on those vessels, you need to be prepared and skilled. When it comes to fuels, that's a comparison of the emissions grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour for different kind of fuels. That's how it looks when they report. So we have e-fuels, biofuels, conventional and gray fuels. But as I've given you the comparison with the car and the battery, it's a bit different. Because if we count the environment impact of e-methane, e-methanol, and e-ammonia, in fact, the real effect is on the contrary. Until we will be having the grid green to produce these things green, they are not really what they look to be. So that's why study has decided not to go that way for the moment. We'll see. I'm just coming back to the well to wake, just to understand the concept. A lot of companies are reporting from bunkering until they burn the fuel and have the emissions. It's kind of faking, because if you are not taking into consideration the entire chain from the producing of those, transporting, storage, to bunkering, that's why it's called from well, when you extract the fuel. Until you burn it, that's the full cycle. Then you have to report the full cycle in order to have the full understanding what the environment footprint is. So just pay attention to it. Yeah, yesterday news, been talking already about it. This is the vessel. That's the wind assistant power propulsion system. Real, it's working. We had very good discussions yesterday with some of the professors, and most probably we will invite those from the company to have a lecture about this, just to understand, and maybe some of you to be on board of those vessels. We have graduates of the Maritime University whom are chief officer on those vessels now. So, and they are very good ones. Back to this SWAT. It's a way that not only because the vessel is green, but the availability, because of the design, it's higher. You can see in different wind parks, they reach from 98.9 or 97.1 up to 100 days. So they will be able to work on the rougher seas than the rest of the vessels, normal CSOVs vessels with one hull. That's the idea. So investing in good design, at least that's how they seen it when they have when they've done the tests. So that's another way of being sustainable. I know this is more on the Norwegian and the northern country, this ESG, but is rolling out in Europe as well. Environment, social and governance. What it means, it's a framework on how you report the results based on the impact you give to the society and to the environment. And then you can do it through the policies, safety routines, the way you invest in people. A good company, it's getting into this framework and reporting it. Citrans and Studic is doing this. Another way to be sustainable, it's predictive maintenance and digital monitoring. Yesterday we had one of your ex-students doing a presentation about this gathering and interpreting the data. There are companies who are having already data warehouses with the data extracted from the vessels, from different sensors like vibration, oil temperature, oil consumption, and you name it. And they've gathered enough data to do simulations and train AI to give you good results. They can predict quite accurate when you need to dismantle a diesel generator. And we will be switching from this time, how they call it, shipyard, for example. You have planned shipyard, planned repairs, or breakdowns repairs. Now you will be switching from this kind of conventional maintenance to the predictive one. What will give you more days with cargo on board or in the field, will give you less impact to the environment, and of course less cost, because you are not doing the maintenance because it's time to do it, but you do it when it's really necessary to do it on the equipment. Yeah, this is helping on the optimized dry docking. And of course, this will avoid breakdowns when you are in the middle of the ocean and you have a breakdown. It's not funny. So this will optimize, will minimize these breakdowns when things will get, when AI will interpret and you'll have enough data, will be quite accurate. And that's in line with the full automation as well, because the one monitoring the vessel, we can see and read the sensors from ashore and see, okay, this vessel needs to be, or this diesel generator or whatever needs to be fixed. So I can see the captain wants to say something, but about it, yeah, later on. Yeah, adaptation of the port, green ports operation. It's important, the ports to sustain this, to be optimized, to sustain and optimize logistic chain. The use of different software like BI, business intelligence, comes from e-signature. We have implemented the e-signature in the system. All the contracts and everything are signed electronically. People are not in a need to travel to the office, or you don't have to meet the subcontractors or contractors to sign the contract. Everything is done electronically in a system on a flow manner. So it's an impact. Less flights, less environment footprint. I've been showing you ESG. ESG, it's about anti-corruption measures. This will enhance the social impact, will give a better place to work. And I left it at the end because it's important. We are people, we are talking about people, and the main asset of a company, it's always the people and their skills and knowledge and culture. So it's important that when we talk about sustainability, to create a culture, to invest in training people. I think every university and training center should invest in people, in training, and trying to create this culture to be embedded in everyone's. When it comes to waste segregation, energy efficiency, environment impact, social impact. That's a broader picture we have been talking about. So sustainable shipping means technology, discipline, and leadership. That's the aim, that every ton of cargo we move from A to B to leave the smallest footprint to the environment and to create a positive social impact. Now we have to touch upon this collaboration between maritime sector, employers in general, and maritime shipping companies, and education and the training system. We've been talking these days, it's nothing new. You are already doing this. Digitalization, decarbonization, automation, culture. It's a shared responsibility to all of us. I think everyone can contribute. What shall we do on this? We have to minimize the gap between the knowledge and the needs of the market. New technologies to be embraced and studied. Continue the cooperation. I would say we have exemplary cooperation with the Maritime University and the Training Center in Constanța. And I can only applaud the way the university is actively seeking different projects and involving themselves, which is very good. I think we had a month ago a good meeting about offshore industry, and not only about what we need to give to the young generation in order to be able to succeed on the vessels, on the new vessels. I think it's important for you to know chemistry, physics, mathematics, sufficient to understand the processes. Then automation, it's important. Digitalization, I think you can teach us when it comes to this, because you are more familiar. You've been born with the laptop and the iPad, and you are glued to the phones these days. Cybersecurity, it's important. Gathering the data in a safe way, transporting the data to the warehouses. The way the warehouses are protected are important, and the way the data are interpreted. And again, university, it's a center of excellence when it comes to cybersecurity. It's good to get at least the basics on it. Yeah, we have touched upon technical skills, environment responsible, equipped to sustain the future. Everyone can contribute. It's not only us or Nautical College or professors. It's you. Every day you can contribute. When you drive in a manner that is not burning more fuel than necessary, when you can choose between driving your car for half a mile instead of having public means whenever it's possible, of course. It's a small step, but it's important. And we need good ideas. The solutions we are talking are not future-proof. That's why I think the biggest challenge for the shipping companies these days is to invest in a future-proof solution. No one knows what's the future-proof solution. You can see that the political changes are coming. We are in the middle of a big change again. Weather impact seems not to be priority for some. So, you don't know what will be the future, but we need to be prepared. So good ideas can come from everyone. Don't hesitate to share. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Christian, Marina and Christian. It's now time for our interactive session, which I'm delighted will be led by Vice Director Radu and Captain Zhao, who will take over from me at the chair. Thank you so much indeed. Please just put your hands together once more for an outstanding panel, and then we'll go into the questions.
Thank you very much, Captain John Lloyd, and thank you and congratulations for our speakers today. Great presentations, and now it's time for answers and questions from your side, mainly from the students. So, first one. Students first, and then the distinguished guests. Some ones are nervous, want to make the first question. Take the opportunity. I can share an example in our college in Portugal. Every year, before they finish the course, the students, we organize an event, and the title is, when I finish my course, what will be my future? So we have here the Maritime Administration, we have here the company. So the two main stakeholders for you, the next step, it's how can I get my Siemens book, how can I get my certification, and the employee. So it's your time.
Constanța Maritime University is part of a project. Is part of many other projects, but the one I'm engaged with as well, Green Port Alliances is the name. We had a meeting with some other representative from the Naval Authority, not you, Mr. Rancuța. But for you, as how to say, consequences of this participation into Green Port, and you were talking about Green Port, digitalization and so on. Being a researcher is, an educator and researcher is demanding occupation, yeah? We were talking yesterday, yeah? I could not satisfy myself about, how to say, facilities. What is in the port of Constanța Harbor, yeah? If there is any emissions monitoring arrangements or something like that, I really could not, you understand my point, yeah? Probably you may assist me to clarify this point, yeah? On one hand. Okay, you like one by one? And for the other industry, I don't know how much industry representative are you. Actually, you are interface, right? Between the guys with the money. You remember my yesterday idea that for training is necessary, you know, to have funds, money. Quality training costs money, yeah? And you are actually the interface. You are doing this recruitment services for owners. So you have to pass. I was asking the students, my students actually, okay, about sustainability. Okay, we are doing for the studies, okay, what curricula we have, training, okay, but not so deep. Maybe it would be necessary some additional training, let's say, once the students, okay, with some basics they got for regarding sustainability, for example. If further the employers are busy, I say, thinking to do such kind of thing, not only on sustainability, but for example, yesterday, remember route optimization. As I told you, if I knew that some specific tools, you know, are available, I would have been better prepared to deal with this kind of challenges. And academia is academia. We try our best. Okay. So.
Can you hear me? Thank you for the question. First of all, I want to let's explain a little bit. The port administration is, you know, the company, and we are authority. Of course, it's a split issue. When you talk about monitoring, generally speaking, the environment monitoring in the port of Constanța. There are two components: the ship component. Of course, we as I presented, all the ships coming in Constanța port has to meet the requirement as they are established in the conventions, and we are, as you know, we are part of Paris Memorandum, Black Sea Memorandum, and our inspectors, of course, when they done their inspections, they check also all what is stipulated in the regulation in the matters related to emissions. And they are very rigorous. Now there is another part regarding the monitoring, which I think is more related to administration. I think the monitoring is a part of their policy. As I know, the port administration now implement a European project for I think at least 10 berths, which will supply cold ironing, electric supply for the vessel. In this moment, the monitoring is not like everyone think. Take a measurement device and go to the port and read some figures. But in this moment, we as authority, I assure you that all the vessels are meet the obligation regarding the emissions. Otherwise, is a matter of policy, and I think is followed by the port administration.
Yeah, I believe you are not the right entity to be asked about this. You are making now.
But sometimes we enforce. I can give you an example, not in Constanța, but in Tulcea. You know, there are maritime vessels which go along the Danube. And Tulcea, I know for sure they fine some vessel for the smoke on the for emissions there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
If I may, I want to add a little bit about the Port of Constanța. The port administration is a part of Pioneer project, you know that, and is one of the 3 ports selected in Europe to evaluate and calculate the carbon footprint, which is something which all the other ports will do, I suppose. But I want to move to the industry, the other Christian, let's say. The question. I have some friends saying me that they don't believe in climate change. I tell them that they're supposed to believe in God, but okay. They say that the green politicians are not very well represented in the new form of the parliament today. The American policy is not too much oriented to that. But the industry is moving ahead. There is this question: do we need to believe in climate change?
Yeah, I will start with the captain's question when it comes to sustainability. I would love to be invited to give speeches to the students and to invite from colleagues, knowledgeable colleagues from my company or from the industry to speak to the students. And we had some good discussions in the breaks about inviting some of you, some of the teachers on board the vessels we have, and just to understand the needs on modern vessels. I think we have to develop and to get into more in-depth discussions on this one and how to do it practically. So yes, we are available whenever it's necessary to join.
And vice versa, yeah? We are academy, don't forget that. Yeah?
Yeah, no, never. we have, as I said, we have an exemplary cooperation with the university.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So it's important. When it comes to funding, I cannot take this decision. It's not me to take the decision, but we need to talk on the project, and then I can just, together with me, we can discuss with the principals, and then
for training you need educators like us, academics.
Yeah, so. That's well understood, and I think with the new things and the new processes and AI and BI, business intelligence, and all these things, the company I'm representing are quite in forefront of what is going on in shipping. I think will be a lot to learn from. So let's have in-depth discussions on how to do it practically, obviously. And back to Costel's questions. Yes, not all of us believing in God. So it's the same with climate change. I just read in the morning when coming down here that Bill Gates was kind of saying, yes, I am believing and not really believing into climate change anymore. I'm not sure if it's political or not. But obviously the wind of change from the US is totally different. I was in a conference 2-3 weeks ago in Norway, and I was talking with Johan Vide, one of the owners of Citrans. And I've asked him, how do you see this? You are still investing in the green things. You are committed in Norway, like all Europe, to do it and so on. That means money. How do you see this? Because, you know, changes are most probably coming. And say, yes, we are, it's like, not just forget that we are in shipping, but what we will be leaving to our kids in the future. And back to the definition the AI was giving to sustainability. Just fulfill your needs without jeopardizing the needs of the future generation. Don't consume resources that you don't need to consume. It's like this. I think we should be careful. Even though the political is not always in the favor of this, I think we can all do small things that will improve that the world we are leaving behind is not worse than what we got. Thank you.
If I can continue on the same idea with the believing or not believing in climate change. We were having a discussion with Professor Stanka and Captain Valterea from Slovenia. I'm much practical guy, let's say. Why? Okay, climate change or not, but the air I'm breathing around is the air coming into my lungs, yeah? So I need to be clean air, just simple like that. So I was talking with Professor Stanka, we're arguing actually on some things, okay? I prefer when I stay at the traffic light there waiting, you know, for the green, you know, the car ahead of me to be electrical one, and you know, I switch on internal this recirculation, the AC system, not to get the noxious into my lungs. So I think it's good enough, a good reason enough for just thinking, not just for the climate change itself. And I had another argument with Professor Stanka, by the way, about industry and versus academia regarding training and what is coming up and who is ahead or who is behind, something like that. And I said that sometimes, and I had some readings about that industry might be a little bit ahead of the academia. Not concepts. No, we are not talking about concepts. Concepts is a different thing. But when we are talking about this interface, industry, academia, for academia, industry is moving very fast. It is private funding there, investment. So technologies, green, whatever, going fast, much faster, like innovation, like IT, whatever you like to call it, yeah? is going faster than the people can follow, can understand. This is a fact. You cannot deny it. Yeah, all right. Then yes, why would be academia behind little bit? Not too much money. We need to work hard to catch projects, whatever. Money is about money. It's like that. Yeah. So sometimes academia is behind. Why? Because we need to invest in programs. We need a certain number of students to open master programs. Not enough. Again, is about money. And we may be academia behind, not because we cannot do things, because we are not prepared to carry on things already. Yeah, this is my point. All right. Thank you.
Just to answer how I see it. It's not really whom is behind and whom is ahead here. I think a good cooperation between the market, industry itself, and the education institution, it's paramount here. Sometimes companies are ahead. Sometimes the theoretical concepts of academies are ahead. It's just a way to find the golden middle, and the way that we have talked about sustainability and meaningful when it comes to economical results as well, because no one is doing a business losing money. Yeah. So I think it's we are half-half. Sometimes academia is ahead with the concepts. Yeah, because you have good ideas. Students are having good ideas, simulations, things that might be a lot of concepts that are missing to the industry. It's just a matter to communicate both ways.
But in our discussion, I quoted the presentation of Professor Sang, who said that the best practice is a very good theory. Isn't that? That was yesterday.
Thank you. I'm a teacher. I'm used to shout out, so I don't know if I need the microphone. Anna Maria Gabrieli from Chalmers University of Technology in Gothenburg, Sweden. First of all, I would like to be the elephant in the room and say that climate change has nothing to do with belief. It has everything to do with science. It is there. Going back to belief, one of the most researched figures of human history that we definitely know existed was actually Jesus. So I don't know if we can bring those two together, but science has the last word there. I don't know if God exists, but Jesus did, obviously. And going back to our students, we talked yesterday about abilities, right? We talked about skills. We had one of the best presentations of yesterday was given by a student lady. So we have to consider diversity, equity, right? Equal rights, if we are looking forward, right? And the student lady also talked about smart technologies requiring smart workforce, right? And to create smart workforce, we have to give them smart education, right? So my question for the panel, if you would put in 3 words, conceptual, more or less, to whatever extent, but in 3 concepts, right? Formulate what is smart education, what would our future students, our future workforce, what should they focus on as they grow? I have a very good colleague at Chalmers who says that it's very difficult to be heavy when you weigh so little. So what can we help them with, in 3 words, to weigh a little more when they meet the industry? Thank you.
Yeah, that's challenging. 3 words for such a... Yeah, what 3 words, yes. But before we touch upon these 3 words, I will use more. Yeah, what is important. I see a lot of students. I'm interviewing students as well. I would like to see them curious and interested. And I would like to see them having the basics. And I think the third word will be serious. I think curious, serious are important. And having the basics, of course. I know it's challenging. Some are coming after this pandemic, having online education, not always as good as was the first time. We were not the best teachers for them. But I think if they are curious, they have the basics, and they are serious with themselves, I think they will succeed. I hope it was a good answer.
I propose a word, in my opinion, because you mentioned before, having in mind that the students will shape the future. I think involvement or implication, what is more suitable for them, because they will shape the world in a way or other. Because many years, especially the maritime sector, was, how to say, its attribute for many decades was tradition. Now is not necessarily the tradition, the term for maritime sector. Innovation, whatever challenges are appearing, I think they has to be involved, and doesn't depend of the rank on the vessel, and curious also.
I heard you were talking about applying AI into navigation. Well, my question is how much of this AI can be or will be applied into maneuvering or handling a ship, because in my opinion I don't believe that a vessel can be turned into a giant Tesla.
I will try to respond first. I don't know what the industry said, but I can tell you what the IMO actually does in this matter. Is on the way the mass code. As you know, the autonomous ship is on the way. Now, you know, there are separated by the grade of autonomy, but the ships are already constructed. Such a ship, and you cannot, for sure, how to say, put apart the role of AI or Internet of Things or what digitalization mean on board of the ship. Is the future for sure. Of course, the policy of the international policy, European policy, and other national policy in this domain could be different. But having in mind that could be a narrow sector for different kind of autonomy, but in the final where can be done, will be done.
I know that AI is the future of our world, but I'm a little afraid that it can steal not only my, but all of the students' future jobs.
Okay, so you know that in this period at the IMO level it's developed the future revision of the STCW convention, where are treated all the subjects that have to be considering as competence for the future seafarer. One of the problems that has been identified as to be a gap in your training process is related to this use of the artificial intelligence in the maritime operation and decision process. And some of the NGOs, of the non-governmental organization, part of the IMO, proposed the possibility to use artificial intelligence as part of, let's say, a support part for the officer in their decisional on board. The final decision, after intense discussion during the last session of the Human Training and Watchkeeping Subcommittee, was that, okay, it's possible to use artificial intelligence, but not to take a decision based on the response that are coming from there. Yeah? So it's something like only a support level. So the final decision have to be in the human hand. Yeah? So if you ask now, go on board, you have a problem there, and you ask artificial intelligence to give it to you a solution, maybe he will give it to you. But after that, it's your decision if you apply what that system said, or you take a decision based on your own knowledge. Eh? So I think it's difficult to talking now about future ship Tesla, as you said, eh? in the near future. Will take time for this, and also is being recognized the possibility to apply this solution only for the engineering department. On the navigation, everybody said that is totally inconvenient and totally not recommended to be used, because you know the most of the safety decisions are taken on the bridge level. Eh? So if you allow, even if at less part, to considering as part of the decision an external factor, in that moment, which will be your position there, you're assuming that? No. So that's the idea. Eh?
Thank you. My question is for the Chief Officer of the Nautical Institute, Captain Joe. We as a student, we have a special free access on the Nautical Institute, and we are interested especially on the specialized course, those who are held in England. Of course, for us, it's a little bit hard to participate at them, and we are eager to be more prepared for our future. And I would like to ask if it will be possible to have access in our university at specialized courses organized by the Nautical Institute. Thank you.
Don't worry, you will not be jobless. Just make sure, we know each other. We were having courses together. Thank you for being here, yeah, and being curious, by the way. Yeah, don't worry. We were talking during our courses, you remember, our classes, yeah? There will be no any risk of students remaining jobless. Just make sure, another students, my students I see over there, very nice. Just make sure you are training, you are learning consistently, seriously, as Christian from industry was saying there, and will be not such a risk. I am trying to be short, yeah, because we know regarding autonomous shipping, IMO has four levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4. All ships are on level 1 now. Then number 2, it takes some time, but not too long. Believe me, I believe during my lifetime still to go to catch autonomous shipping. That's all. So just make sure you continue the way you do, and you will have job for the next 20 years, I guarantee you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to connect the last two questions from our colleague in Sweden and from our student. I would like to wish you to be qualified, to be reactive and proactive. Why is it like that? Because dealing on your qualification, you will realize what to do, dealing on your knowledge. So be proactive, be reactive. That means that you, basing again on your knowledge, you will realize what to do. And be proactive, that is make your own decision. Then the rest, be qualified. That's the main thing.
Thank you very much. So before I reply to your question, just to say to the student, as I said before, that navigation, it's not only science, it's also art. And the art is human part of our profession. So don't worry about your future. For sure we will be captain and chief engineers. The next generation are here in this room. And of course technology will help and will support your tasks. I wrote yesterday because it's my belief. Seafarer profession, it's an ocean of opportunities. Seems philosophy, but it's how it is. Human research are essential, so you are in the right way. Regarding the question, the Nautical Institute, and I feel that you don't like to speak too much, so you only need to raise your hands. And I will reply to you later. Who knows the Nautical Institute here in this room for the students? Who knows? How many of you knows? No, the students. But it's established, so we need to start with this Romanian branch. So, and how many of you know that it is free of charge to be member of the Nautical Institute? Free for students and cadets. No hands. So we are missing this communication with you. Replying to your question, so there are a lot of advantages to be member of the Nautical Institute as a student or as a cadet. And after we break for the coffee, I will stay here and I will speak with you more closely to clarify your doubts or your questions. But if you join Nautical Institute, you have a lot of resources available to support your course, your studies and your knowledge. Yesterday we spoke about continuous professional development. It's essential nowadays. All this evolution, all this IE, all this big data analytics and so on, so on, so on. So it's important to keep this continued professional development. So regarding your question, so we will see what we can do because the organization is worldwide established and the resources are available for all. So thank you for the question and hope you can join as a member as an Nautical Institute. And I will be available during the coffee break to speak with all of you. Okay? And now, last question or more. We have time, 7 minutes. More students. You know the next step when we will finish the course? What will be your next step? Yes, but the process. You know the process? No doubts for the process? So, raise the question. If you don't know, I don't know if... During our course in Portugal, we try to explain everything to the students, but it's not enough. That's why we try to do some moments just to clarify some topics. And these topics, when I finish my course, what will be the next step I need to give?
About the autonomous ships and the possibility to lose your jobs, I can tell you that you can be really convincing the fact that you will arrive at the retirement period and the autonomous ship will not be the only ships on the sea. Yeah? Because if it happens something like this, nobody today will put the problem how many people are needed or are missing now from the maritime industry for the next 20 years. Yeah? So the association of the owners like Intertanko and BIMCO make surveys around the maritime market in order to understand how many people will be needed in the following 20 years to cover the needed for personnel on board ships. Yeah? So the autonomous ships, it's a reality, will be there and will become day by day more important in the shipping industry, but not over the night. Yeah? So maybe over, I don't know, 20, 30 years, will be more autonomous ship on the sea than the classical one. But until then, you completed your career on sea and you will be happy to see that you contributed to this change. Yeah?
And regarding this topic, only my last opinion, autonomous vessel, it's not only the direction. Our duties as an officer of the watch, it's not only the direction of the vessel. The technology already exists long time ago. It's not new technology. So don't worry about that. So next question.
Thank you. I am a student of Constanța Maritime University. I will finish my courses in June 2026. What are the avenues I can pick up on to get the best cadetship that I can ever get, being a future engine room second engineer? Thank you.
I will try to answer this question. I think the way to go is to participate to the job fairs, blue career events, visit the companies, and before you visit, just check their website to know a bit about what they mean and what they do, what kind of vessel they have. Yeah, and prepare yourself for at least for a short discussion. So, nothing more than that. Easy peasy.
So thank you.
Only a minute.
We have more 3 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, so I subscribe to our colleagues' intervention. As university, we start to develop this kind of meeting between our students and the industry. And from this winter, I think that will promote this idea to have a monthly meeting between you as students, we as an academia, and the shipping industry and administration also can be part of this discussion in order to identify the problem and to find solution for all of them. Yeah? So, waiting for you and be more active because it's your interest to fix this problem regarding your CADEP to period, your future perspective, career on sea, and all of this. So, be ready to be part of this project. Yeah?
We still have a few minutes. Just, I would like to question you now. How many of you would like to be officer on watch on board the vessels? That's a big improvement because I think 2 years ago when I had this question in an aula in the university, you've been either shy or you haven't been quite thinking about your future. So it's good to see at least half of you are interested. That's very good. It's an improvement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we have 2 minutes and time for the last question, if you have it. To our speakers. Okay, there is a question there at the moment.
What is an estimated number of jobs that are open to the navigation officers and nautical engineers?
I think nobody knows the exactly figures. What I can tell you, there are more than 60 crewing agency authorized by Romanian Naval Authority in Constanța. 60.
Thank you.
Not necessary, but don't be.
Thank you.
Most probably the introduction of the autonomous vessels, initially not so many of them, but this will drop the number of the gap existing now, but 26,000, about 30,000. If I remember well, before the pandemic, I think was about 40,000 or 60,000 some years back. So, yeah, it's still a good number.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's time for close the section, and thank you for the speakers for your presentations, and also thank you for Constanța Maritime University and the organization of this World Maritime Education and Training Multidisciplinary Congress. Congratulations. And it's time for the coffee, and as I told before, I will stay here. If the students have any questions regarding Nautical Institute, I will be here to try to clarify you, okay? Thank you very much. So, time to coffee.